lost a tenth.
Top 10 separated by a second. It's not good enough, Ian.
And I bet Gary did that without a slipstream as well.
Yeah, because
I've been doing it. They've done one lap.
Because he's that good, he does it without legs as well.
Mate, you're losing to shoulders. Welcome back, everybody, to the stream. Sorry if you've missed anything there. G's internet decided to have a little meltdown midway through that race. I'm not surprised. It couldn't compute how quick and how good the top 9 drivers was. But he's back in the lobby now. The stream is live once again, so we're glad to see you back. Dan, what a cracking first race. And at the moment, you can see the list on the left. You can see the qualifying grid as it stands with 7.5 minutes remaining. Dan, what an epic first race. I'm still getting over it.
I'm still trying to catch my breath, if I'm honest, Matt. That was crazy. But what was the nice thing is that everyone kept it clean, bar a few little incidents. But we knew that was going to happen eventually, where we had 9 cars battling for it within a second, and at one point we had 5 cars going wide. So, but it was fantastic to watch, and these boys really showing why they are in Tier 1. And it shows, obviously, that G and Morgan are the top dogs to manage to get themselves through that chaos as best as possible. But Morgan topped it, and he's doing fantastic to keep himself in the championship hump. G has got a lot of work to do in this qualifying session, as he's missed the majority of it, and he needs to start setting fast lap times and get a slipstream off someone. Indeed he does. One thing he's got to do is get that lap time in. Currently, the man with the cojones, Gary131, on provisional pole, 500ths of a second ahead of Shoulders. Motoring Morgan only 700ths of a second behind. That's how tight these clears are. Emo Guy, aka Ian, just a 10th behind, 10th and a half behind. It's not quite good enough for Ian, but I'm sure he'll want to be up there on that front row. Andy only 2 tenths back. John Boy half a second behind. Melted Dazzler then 6 tenths back. Luty McShooty as well 6 tenths back. BT Targa 7 tenths back. Little Leach 7 tenths back. Nick the Villa 8 tenths back. So that is how tight it is between the top 11 drivers. Smoky Devil then P12 and 2.9 off the pace, and DJ Phil 4 seconds off of the pace of Gary. Up front, G not yet set a time with just under 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. I'm not going to say to you, Dan, who's your tip for pole, who's your tip for the race win, because as we just saw from race 1, anybody could win this race. DJ Phil could win this race. It's that chaotic. But we've got 45 laps of utter chaos coming our way, I reckon. Was it 45 laps, I believe we have? Yeah, I think, 45 laps of chaos. Laps. And the pit window will open on lap 13, so these boys will want to make sure they got their pit strategy sorted, and I don't think they can fill these cars right to the brim, so they might have to put some fuel in as well. But as of right now, G on his own, without any slipstream, puts himself in 6th place, so he's got 5 cars in front of him from first place, but he really does need to start gaining some points on Morgan, because at the minute Morgan looks like he's going to take the title, but it's like you say, anyone can win this race. You could qualify, you could be John Boy, who qualifies at the minute in 7th, and he was going towards the race win at some point in the sprint race. You know, anyone can win it. Little Leach, currently at the minute, who was flying, is sitting in 10th place. He's 6 tenths down in 10th. That's how tight it is. And yet was leading the race at one stage in race 1 through sheer, will and determination and great moves. But Nick the Villa 7 tenths, if not 8 tenths back, and he's 12th. Nothing at all. DJ Phil and Smoky Devil trading times at the back of the grid, 2.4 and 2.9 off the pace. Alright, it's not with the pace of the leaders, but 7 tenths, 8 tenths, let's say, separate the top 12. It is anybody's qualifying. And look at the front 4. G has gone quicker again. G, Morgan, Shoulders, all behind Gary by less than a 10th of a second. Heck of a time here. Gary looks like he's giving Little Leach a tow, and G's trying to get on the back of that one. I was going to say, you've seen the Leach brothers there giving each other a little tow. That's probably why Gary set such an amazing lap time. Little Leach probably gave him a hand, and now it's the opposite way around. Gary's now giving Little Leach that advantage, and that's probably why Little Leach hasn't had his fastest time yet, but he's about to cross the line. Will Little Leach improve his lap time? We're about to see as he comes towards the line. Don't think he has. No, I don't think he has. Neither has G. Maybe this is the out lap. Potentially. Potentially this is the lap where Gary really gives Little Leach the tow. Gary's getting a bit of a tow off of Ian himself, aka Emo Guy. Not as much as Little Leach will be getting, but Gary will be getting a slight tow off the back of Emo Guy there. If I was Ian right now, I'd be backing off and letting these guys through so that he can then get the toe. But look who's at the back of all of them is Andy trying to get the toe off of the lot. But he's not quite close enough.
Off of G. G trying to get the toe off a Little Leach. If I was Gary, I'd be moving out of the way now, letting Little Leach get the braking zone. Bang on for Parabolica. He doesn't know. So we'll still have the toe coming through Parabolica. BT Targa's just gone above Little Leach. Top 12 now separated by 0.6 of a second. And the top 13 only a second and a half, so DJ Phil's improved quite a bit as well. So good luck from DJ Phil. What can Little Leach do this time as he crosses the line? Team Tactics coming into play, and he goes up to P8, just short of 0.4 off of Gary, his teammate and brother in P1. And that is nothing at all. This is absolutely incredible at the moment. Look at this train here.
The guy who surprised me is Shoulders. That lap time that he's put in second is fantastic.
Fantastic
he's
lap.
Only 500ths off Motoring Morgan, and he's really using this traffic that's in front of him to his advantage. But Morgan's in that traffic as well. That's why he's got such a good lap time on G. So we'll see as he comes across the line, and G's not getting close enough to the Leach brothers. So this train is really, as we see, melted. Dazza has gone into second. Only 100 off Gary.
14,000ths of a second off of Gary 131. Top. Oh, no. Where's Shoulder? Where's Smoky Devil gone? Smoky Devil's gone up tonight. So the top 14 are separated by a second and a half. That is how close this grid is. That is. Oh my goodness. He's done that off the slight toe. He's not going to have much of a toe from Little Leach there, but he's a 10th quicker than Gary 131 then. Heck of a lap time.
We know G's good around Monza, and he's just proved it with a very little amount of slipstream. He's put himself right up there. See Gary going absolutely sideways in the background, but G showing how good he is in these Clios and puts himself at the top. Morgan is in a bad situation now. He's in 5th place, but it's only 0.2 he needs to find. But that only 0.2.
Morgan's just gone second.
A mile away, and there we go. He's proven me wrong.
Morgan has just gone second then. Only.
But G's got a slipstream here.
Yeah, he has. Could have a stellar lap from G. This could be off the back of Little Leach here. Let's take a look. Heck of a slipstream. No, yeah, it does improve. Updated a bit later than normal, so 0.3 quicker than Motoring Morgan. Can Gary, Morgan, Melted Dazza do anything about it? Andy down in P7 at the moment. No improved time there for Gary. He was a bit slidey coming onto the back straight last time round, so let's see if Gary can get it right this time.
G's done. He's in the pit, so it's down to Morgan now, and he's got a slipstream off Melted Dazza, but Melted Dazza trying to get out the way here.
I'm sure he'd have preferred that slipstream all the way down the straight.
I will, but let's see how Morgan gets on. Can he improve on his lap time? He does, but not enough to get in front of G, and he's now done. So the championship rivals have done their laps. So who can knock him down? Gary was the only one who could really get in close contact with these guys, but Melted Dazza doesn't have a slipstream, neither does G. Sorry, Gary,
we've
lost someone. Who we lost? I'm not sure. Lucy McShooty's gone, which is a shame. She was doing so well in race 1.
He had such a good race 1 as well, didn't he? No improved time for Gary there. What can Andy do as he's about to cross the line? He doesn't improve either. Little Heats, look at that. Who's just improved there? Is that Ian up to 7th? Or is that John Boy up to 6th?
Well, John Boy probably up to 6th. He wasn't quite up as high as that, but we're seeing BT Targa currently coming to finish his lap time right now.
Where's Little Leach? Oh, he's in the pits. Little Leach, 11th, was one of the front runners in race 1. So it's P11 in this qualifying. That shows how close everybody is here. Top 12, just under a second.
Yeah, the top 12 just under a second. So it's kind of being on pole isn't the best thing, but G does take pole position away from Motoring Morgan, and Gary with his giant kahunas in 3rd place as well. But
I'm telling you now, Gary could be 3 wide into turn 1 and go around the outside of both of these two.
The front two really have to keep an eye on Gary, because Gary will want to take a race win and take the championship as well, hopefully.
Indeed he will. We're going to be right back after a quick short break, and we'll be ready for the race 2 lineup. So don't go anywhere. Okay, so we are ready to go here in this second race and the final race of the season. For 19 people watching, let's make sure we get 19 likes on this video. And it's lights out and away we go. And Gary looked like he got off the line initially well, as did Melted Dazza, to be fair, from P4. And look at Gary already trying to look round for his favourite manoeuvre. Can't get it done. Morgan trying to look inside G. Especially first lap. Don't want to be a hero into turn 1, do you, that one?
We still got we got 45 laps around here at the Monza short, and at the minute the championship can tire us. And where's Little Leach come from?
Hello, 11th on the grid. This guy qualified. He's up to P6, 7.
Gary's looking down the inside. He's got a run on the pair of the leaders, but Gary looks down to the inside. G and Morgan having to rub doors, and Gary sends it down the inside and takes the lead. You just see John Boy go wide as hell there, but G
can't come across. Melted Dazza was there. Oh, he couldn't come across anymore as Melted Dazza was there. Little Each now in the middle of G and Melted Dazza getting the toe off his brother. And Morgan, could he do the Gary manoeuvre and go around the outside?
He's got to be brave to do that.
Oh, I tell you what, Little Leach looks up the inside of his brother, I think. There he does! And the Leach brothers lean on each other slightly, and Morgan now takes the lead. Oh, family feuds there.
Oh, Little Leach.
Oh, Leach and Morgan and Gary. Gary's come back up the inside and regains the lead. The drama continues from race 1. Look at the whole field.
Even DJ Phil's getting himself involved.
Yes, boy! This is absolutely... I know it's only lap 2. We've only just started, but yeah, boy, come on. Let's have some of the action. Little Each dropped out to P4. Only G's managed to get past Motor in Morgan then. Shoulders is in 5th with Melted Dazza 6th. Emo Guy 7th. John Boy 8th. Nick the Villain 9th. Smoky Devil 10th. BT Target 11th. Andy 12th. And DJ Phil 13th and last at the moment. But the battle out front, look at Morgan and G side by side. Gary lights on and away he goes at the moment. Is Little Each thinking about making this one 3 wide? I tell you what, he might be, you know. I think he's tempted to. He's late on the brakes compared to G. G's had to back out of that more than anything, I think. And Little Each up the inside of Motor in Morgan.
These guys got to be really careful right now. Little Each just made contact with Morgan there. Morgan's lost loads of times and looks like Melted Daz is down the inside of him. But the Leach brothers taking no prisoners. Both of them are now at the front. Will they be able to slipstream each other and pull away from this pack? But we know G and Morgan. Oh! What's going on there? Shoulders and
oh, wow. Who is that? Nick the Villa?
That's Nick the Villa and Shoulders, I believe. Both got caught up. But
flying in the sky was Nick the Villa. Yeah, that was... Whew. Tell you what, and this is what you're going to get with this close action. But look at G round the inside of Parabolica on Little Each. This is how close it is, that one little mistake like that and it could ruin your whole night. DJ Phillip into P11. Go on, mate. Little Each side by side with G.
Currently, Gary's nearly pulling off a second gap of these guys, but he's kind of ditched his brother now and kind of running away with it. Craig having to fight these guys, and he's kind of a sitting duck all on his own there. He had the advantage of following his brother, but right now...
John Boy! John Boy really clattered the curb, and how he's not put that in the wall, I don't know. What a save from John Boy there. He's managed to keep it going. Little Each now trying to get in that slipstream with G. The debris from Nick the Villa and Shoulders' car all over the middle of the track there. What a race we're seeing so far. Oh, Gary's wide. Gary's very wide at Parabolica then. And G's don't need no second invitations to get on the back of that slipstream. Little Each will now be getting a double toe. Motor Morgan will be getting a triple toe. Melted Daz will have a quadruple toe, and Emo Guy will have a... What's the word for 5? 5 toes that Emo Guy's getting. Up the inside of G. Can he get it stopped? He can! And what a move from Little Each. The Leach brother. And I tell you what, they fight it. Little Each could get third as G just taps the back of Little Each and manages to keep hold of it there. What a race we are seeing here from the only G.
Gary's lost the lead. He's
brilliant
slow.
Stuff. Oh, he must have had a slowdown. He must have had a massive slowdown.
Down the inside now.
Oh, he's side. I'll have the lead back then, lads. You don't want it with me slow down. I'll take it back, boys. Don't you worry. That's John Boy very wide in the background there, and I tell you what.
Melted Dazza down the inside has gone into 3rd place with Emo Guy going with him as well. These guys are flying, and G and Morgan are getting caught up in so much issues. It looks like we're having stream issues again, but
I'm sure G and Morgan won't want Monza short next year for the title decider.
They love it around here, but with Gary and Little Leach in there, I think they probably would not like it at all, because the Leach brothers, even though it's the championship finale, they're not giving anything away, and now Little Leach takes the lead. I think Gary held them up, so Little Leach...
The lead, and Emo Guy looked like he was side by side with G for a moment, but G now looks like he's got the run on Gary 131. Leach, apologies for the stream, a bit laggy at the moment. That could be G's internet playing up again. G now in front of Gary 131, and Gary's gone past Little Leach. Morgan's now up the inside of Little Leach and tries to stick the nose in on Gary 131 as well. Your money's on, Dan. If Gary keeps it parked on the outside line, he's chose not to, though. He's chose to tuck back into that slipstream. And will he have a go now?
But now he's got the run. We're watching Gary now. Will he go right around the outside? The Little Leach! Oh my God!
Little Leach has got back ahead of G, and Morgan's got ahead of Little Leach. So Morgan now leads this race. Gary's past G again. Everywhere you look. Oh dear me! Everywhere.
So we've got one Leach brother that likes it.
Absolutely brilliant. This is. We want to see the manoeuvre where one goes around the outside and one goes around the inside. They meet each other side by side on the exit to the overtake. Look at them both. Gary's just tapped the back of Little Leach up to the inside of Parabolic, and Gary wanted to try and get the run up the inside of Motoring Morgan, but couldn't. He's now slotted in behind Morgan for the slipstream. John Boy is now on the right hand side of G as we look on screen. On board G on the roof cam at the moment. Morgan side by side with Little Leach. He's choosing to go to the inside this time around. And is he going to make this one work? G on the brakes. Gary later on the brakes as well. He's gone a bit deep. He's kept it out the wall, and Little Leach goes in the lead. There's John Boy. There's Emo Guy. G is down into 6th place at the moment. And G's been tapped. G's been tapped by Melted Dazzer.
God, I knew this would end up in tears, but at the minute, G is really flashing his lights. He believed that Smokey Devil has hit him now, or something to do with Smokey Devil, but wow. Now Andy's got himself back into this fight. At the minute, DJ Phil will get back onto the back of this pack at this stage.
Come on, DJ Phil. Heck, what a race.
Now leads the race.
Oh, we've lost a driver. We've lost a driver. We lost Uti McShooty early on, and we've lost shoulders now. Yeah, we've lost shoulders from this one. Gary choosing to go to the inside line up towards turn 1 again. Can he make it stick this time around? Heck of a race this is. Going to look up the inside of his teammate and brother, and can't get the move done. John Boy looked around the outside of Motoring Morgan, and he's not got that one done. And Gary,
I feel like the Leach brothers are really missing an opportunity here, because
to work together and go away. Yeah,
they're too busy fighting each other. They should be working with each other to pull a gap. But at this minute, they keep bumping into each other. They need to just start using it. John Boy it's Gary ever so slightly there. John Boy got a great run, but each brother's pinning him in and can't let him through. But
well, I'm glad they're not pulling away with it, because it makes it interesting for me and you to commentate on, that's for sure. Look at John Boy tuck underneath and get the run on Little Leach and on Gary 131, who's round the outside, and they're 3 wide on the exit to Parabolica. Morgan was in the middle of John Boy and Little Leach a minute ago. He's now having a look in the middle of Gary and Little Leach. Where's he going to go? John Boy lost all momentum out to Parabolica there. He tucks in behind Little Leach and Gary again. Gary going to go for his favourite manoeuvre, but so's Little Leach. So Gary can't get that one done. And this is great, because G's now right on the back of Morgan again. This for the title.
The Leach, it's like a Leach blockade right now, because they're just not letting anyone through. Little Leach on the inside, Gary on the outside, and G's now got a run. But John, what's happened to Little Leach?
Little Leach might have had a slowdown there, because G and John Boy have flew past. Morgan side by side, if not in front. Look at John Boy. Where's he going to go? Gary, I hope you're looking up your inside. And he does, and John Boy's not actually as close as I thought it once was. But G now trying to look around the outside. Little Leach is going to tuck back underneath here. This is 5 for the lead at the moment. Brilliant driving from these lads. Andy, Emo Guy, Smokey Devil, Melted Dazzer, BT Targa, all just behind these, waiting in the wings for one mistake. One trip up, and them guys are there. Little Leach going to look for his manoeuvre up the inside line, is he? No, he can't, because John Boy's got it parked on the apex of the corner. Gary, top job at the moment, defending brilliantly. This is exactly the opposite of what we saw last week at Monaco, Dan, where Morgan and G ran away with it with a slipstream. Great defending from Morgan to win the race. This is all out attack from everybody.
Well, Little Leach has just proven to me that where we were at Monaco and pole position was vital. Here at Monza, it means nothing. You could be on pole position. I mean, Morgan the only G put it on pole, and he's still in second. He's still struggling, and the top 10 are separated by 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
The back of this train is where P10 is, and that is P10 is BT Targa. Gary going very defensive very early on. G's not followed him for the slipstream, so clearly doesn't fancy going with him. Clearly feels like he can outbrake Gary and maybe get the cutback. John Boy was pretty much pushing Morgan down the straight. Little Leach is going to look to someone up the inside. Oh, that's Andy going straight on.
Yeah, Andy's lost it and hit the wall. So after he did all the work of catching his pack up, he now has to try and do it on his own. But we've now got loads of fog here now.
Yeah, the fogs came down thick and fast. And G is side by side with Gary. You see the headlights there. Morgan's also past Gary, so Morgan's not got his headlights on there. I didn't see Morgan until the fog started to clear. Morgan is up the inside of G and Gary then as we headed towards Parabolica. And look at the three of them. It's like it's a flying for the photos, lads, for the photographers. Gary tucks back in behind G and Morgan then. Can he get that slipstream? Can he make it 3 wide and go for his favourite manoeuvre? He got a bit of a wiggle there. I wonder if he just tapped the back of G coming down the start-finish straight. Little Leach, John Boy and Emo guy on the back of this. Look at Little Leach. He's going to try and make it 4 wide. He is making it 4 wide. He's been tapped by G, and as he made it, he's made it stick. He's done very well there as Little Leach. G a bit laggy just a moment there. And Little Leach ahead of Gary. Gary just taps Morgan on the inside and backs out to that one. And we have to wait now for the fog to calm down towards Parabolica. Right, Jamie Brazier in the chat. Here we go again. Yeah, I bet you'll get a regular feeling of this, Jamie, on the lag. On board, Motoring Morgan then. G leads from Little Leach, from Gary. Motoring Morgan, Melted Dazza, Smoky Devil, BT Targa, Emo Guy, John Boy, Andy, DJ Phil and Nick the Villa. What a race. We've got here 9 up from...
They're going to have to use each other to really get through the pack, but as of right now, these guys are not opting to pit, and G is currently leading them away, and Gary's right behind him, but we know he's going to try on the inside. He's just rubbing with Morgan. Leach, Little Leach, you do not want to be rubbing with Morgan.
You don't.
You can rub with everyone else, but you can see Morgan's not happy with that.
Oh, I don't think he was
pitted.
G has pitted. I wonder if he's gone to make an early call. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Little Leach was doing there. Rubbin's racing at the end of the day, especially Clio Cup stuff. I don't think there was that much in that, to be fair. You know, what will be will be. I can understand Morgan's frustration, though, as this is for his title at the end of the day. But all these boys have the right to race.
That's very true. At this current minute, these guys are only lapping in the 55s, and I know when I was on my own in clear air, I was in the low 55s, hitting the 54s. So maybe G sat there and thought, why am I battling in this pack when I can lap considerably quicker on my own?
The only man lapping in the 54s last time around was Emo Guy, a 54.8.
They're all in the 55s at the minute.
No, Emo Guy looked 54.808.
Yeah, but the rest of the
rest of them,
pack,
yeah.
The lead pack are not just making any time.
Morgan's answering to G.
Let's go back to G.
Emo Guy as well is in the pit lane. Morgan's responding to G there 100%. You've got to fuel to the end, don't forget. So we'll have to see what happens. But Gary leads from Little Leach, Smoky Devil. It's all just calmed down a bit now. We've had a few pit stops. It's all just started to... Let's all take a breath, have a quick sip of a drink, and I'm sure the action will unfold again.
I think the action is still going on at the front, but we're currently watching the championship contenders because that's what we need to be keeping our eye on. But Gary and Little Leach, the Leach brothers, are leading away. But G's coming up towards the line. Where is Morgan? He's only now coming to the pit exit, so G looks like he's got this done by the looks of it.
Yeah, good
so that's
good
the
early
advantage
call.
of being in front.
Morgan not a million miles behind though, and provided everybody doesn't pit. Oh, he's lost enough time, but provided everybody doesn't pit yet, G will come back onto that traffic soon enough. Little Leach and Gary taking Smoky Devil with them. They've kind of dropped Melted Dazzle now. Dazzle's just pitted. This is where Gary and Little Leach need to use each other, Dan, to get that gap over Motoring Morgan and the only G, because if they use each other well here, they can create that bit of a gap to get their pit stop done.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not sure if these boys do go in the same party with each other, but I know for a fact that these two, we want to try to slipstream each other and try and build that gap now. The Leach brothers here from Simplay wanting to try and take a win on Motive Racing channel, and looks like Gary has just dropped off the pace a little bit and let Little Leach go. Probably a slowdown, yeah, but maybe he wants to get the slipstream of Smoky Devil, we just don't know. But Little Leach now takes the race lead, and Gary comes back underneath of Smoky Devil and pushed him right up against towards the curb there.
Really was.
Not sure
really
why it was that. Maybe you didn't quite see him. But Smoky Devil right onto the back of Gary right now. But
Andy's now pitted.
Oh, what's happened there?
That was strange. That was very strange.
Is that just an internet issue there between the two? Maybe one...
Like an internet glitch?
Yeah, possibly. I've had that a few times.
Yeah.
But Smoky Devil losing out there, and the Leach brothers now all on their own at the front. So...
Indeed they are. That was really weird. The top 5, the only guys not to have pitted yet as well. So the top 5 have not been in the pits. We're on lap 18 of 45 at the moment. Gary and Little Leach well out in front.
Yeah, this is important because at the minute we've seen Little Leach, he does a 54.9 on his own, and the only G is only doing a 54.8. So at this minute, G's not actually making that much time to Little Leach.
Yeah, not really gaining anything. And with Little Leach, can get to fight and trip up each other anymore. On the back of the lead pack a moment ago. Smoky Devils now came into the pit, so it's the top 4 who have to P5. Morgan will go up into P6. Not a million miles apart to them two. Emo Guy claims
Emo Guy's
P7.
on the back of them as well.
Yeah. Not a million miles between the 3 of them. G only doing a 5th in Gary last time around.
Yeah, so the Leach brothers really do need to start working together. If they want to take a 1-2, they really need to start working together, and I believe this is what's going to hit. Gary will go down the inside. As they do so, it's like watching Mercedes right now.
It is a bit, isn't it? Just without the team, just obviously without the team orders. But it is a bit.
There's probably team orders in right now, but
there's definitely team orders in here right now.
Get behind me, just slipstream me.
Well, it's funny you say that. Funny you say that. Silverstone National, Gary actually had a bad first race, and then in the second race, these two was 3rd and 4th. John Boy and Morgan had a bit of an incident and span off, and Gary was like, "Oh, bro, let me win. I need to claw some points back." And Little Leach said he won, so they have actually claimed a 1-2 here, so this could be the second 1-2, but will it be Little Leach who gets to win this time around? I think Little Leach can still beat John Boy in the championship, if I remember rightly, so it could be important, that. G, down in P4.
Yeah,
up in P4. Just behind Nick the Villa.
Yeah, Nick the Villa's still yet to pit at this minute, but I think at the minute, most of the top guys have pitted now.
I think it's just the top 3.
I think just the top 3. Nick the Villa, Gary, and Little Leach are the only ones who haven't pitted. We're currently watching G at the minute. Has he
Villa's in now?
Time? So yeah, Nick the Villa, the Leach brothers are the only ones left, and G is 25 seconds back at this stage. So he does a 54.8, and the fog is starting to go away now. So maybe we'll start getting a bit more temperature.
Now the problem is for G, Dan, is he had that bit of slipstream off Nick the Villa last time around, and now he's got nothing. And these two are still sort of working together, so now he's got that much clear air ahead of him. Can G still pump in them lap times while these two are slipstreaming each other? Let's wait and see what's going to happen. The gap down to 24.8 seconds as Little Leach crosses the line and can't get back into 54s. Neither can Gary. Can G get them times done on his own? That is the question.
Are these two just hindering each other now? Because at this minute they're not making any time. They're just still in the 55s. With G on his own, he has no one to worry about, and he can just pump in the lap times. He can take his line, he can take how he wants to do.
Yeah,
every time
potentially.
they swap, every time these two swap, they have to take a different line into a corner, so they kind of compromise themselves.
Yeah, potentially. I see where you're coming from with that one, and I think that you look at the gap, although it's gone back up a few tenths, I'd say you're right. Don't forget these two are yet to pit as well, so 25 seconds I don't think is enough.
As you see there, Gary made loads and loads of time, but then he had to get off the power, so he didn't get too close into the corner. So maybe these two are just hindering each other just that little bit. And I don't think Little Leach has the pace on his own. He does another 55, and Gary does a 54.
54, yeah.
Neither of these two are able to do their own pace in the 54s. So at the minute, they kind of hit a brick wall. G can lap consistently in the 54.8s. So
let's see what he does this time around. 10th quicker.
Morgan's lost a lot of time to G as well.
Morgan's lost a lot of time, heck of a lot of time.
When G come across the line, what's he do? This is that. He does a 55.2.
Didn't actually gain that much last time around. Morgan, he was a 55 dead.
But he's still a 10th faster than Little Leach, and Little Leach is the one in front. So it's not Gary's time we want to be looking at, it's the leading car's time.
Yeah, 100%.
And just Little Leach does not have the pace on his own.
I completely agree with you, Dan. I think you're right. I think it might be beneficial if Gary takes the lead as this and lets Little Leach get the slipstream. Look, Gary.
So they were equal then.
55.5s.
And geez, it was what, 25 seconds?
25 seconds. It's now down to 23.5. So G really starting to reel them in, slowly but surely. And what, we're at just over half race distance, and these have got a long way to go still to pit as well. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, this.
I mean, G can just keep going around and doing his own lap type and taking his lines. I mean, when I got stuck behind traffic, I kind of found the slipstream was hindering me at times because I just couldn't take my line. I had to kind of avoid other people. So these guys, if they want this to work, they need to find a new way, and they both pit. So
it's an interesting strategy. Obviously, they don't feel that running in clean air on their own is going to benefit them. Little Leach comes into his pit box.
Where is G?
Parabolica. He's done that.
Will they? G's, yeah, he's cleared them, but where are they going to feed out behind Morgan? Because as of right now, the only G will clearly clear these guys. Gary's only now leaving his pit box. Where's Little Leach? He's left his pit box, and
G's up to speed. G's up to speed. So they've chipped up each other more than anything.
Yeah, so here comes Morgan now, and they've only now left the pit lane, so Morgan might jump him as well.
Oh, there's Little Leach. There's Gary. On the brakes now, Morgan. He's jumped Little Leach.
He hasn't quite got Gary, but...
no, so G released into the lead on his own with some good lap times there as well. Gary's now defending from P2. For P2, sorry. And Little Leach in the background is trying to attack for P3 again. So the Leach brothers tripping up each other more than anything else there. 5 seconds that gap to G. So G's pulled out a heck of a gap. And G needs this win.
I knew that's what they were doing. They were just not. They weren't helping each other. They were actually hindering each other. So now they got to fight Morgan. So they've just kind of, and Andy out of nowhere has got himself into this fight. He's now with the leading bunch after he got caught up in so much incidents at the start. Yeah,
and the pack has started to get a bit spread as well now since the pit stops, which we know or knew would have been the case. Obviously, everybody running different strategies and different fuel. Now, question is, how long does it take Morgan to pass Gary, and can he pass Gary, and will he pull away from Gary and head towards G? I don't think Morgan's got the pace, to be fair, to catch G without using Gary as a slipstream. Otherwise, you know, we'd have seen Morgan gain on the back of G earlier on. G has done so well at the moment.
But then again, like I was saying a second ago with the Leach brothers, is Gary just going to hinder Morgan? Is he just going to hold him up? G's out on his own. Yeah. Again, he can just take whatever line he likes and just run away with it. If Morgan's fighting here, which he is, he hasn't got pace alone to catch G, so he's kind of stuck in this kind of this situation where he's watching his title slip through his fingers.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure on the points, but with Morgan outscoring G in the last round, with Morgan, Little Leach on the grass, and round he goes. Oh, we had such a good race with Little Leach, and he's lost all that time now, back down in 7th, if not 8th place. I'm sure he's going to find it hard now to work his way back up to the front of the pack. Andy and John Boy trying to gain on the back of Motor and Morgan. Didn't Morgan win race 1? From G in 3rd, so Morgan gained more than the 3 points, I reckon. Not quite sure how the point system works. But
for a race win, it's 35 points.
And 3rd?
You get an extra...
95. And what did he get for the race win?
He got 35, and I think he got the fastest lap as well.
No, I thought G got the fastest lap in the
G got
53s,
the fastest lap, so,
didn't he?
Yeah.
So Morgan then did a 55. So that puts Morgan on 330. And then G was on... What did G get for 3rd?
27 points for 3rd.
Yeah.
But he got the extra lap for fastest lap.
So an extra point. That puts G on 326. So G is actually 4 points behind Morgan then in this title race at the moment. So with G winning...
Gary's got really wide there.
Oh, very wide. So G will gain an extra 35 points before fastest lap, potentially putting him on 361. And Morgan, now he's into P2, will get what?
So he's in P2, he gets 30 points.
So Morgan will actually lose out. Morgan needs the fastest lap for this to go down to race wins, I do believe it goes down to, doesn't it?
It does go to race wins.
Morgan needs a fastest lap to take it to most wins. And that would be 4 apiece, 5 apiece, because Morgan won this and G is currently winning the second one. So Morgan...
Look at this, Matt. We got Andy, John Boy and Morgan all really close. Looks like if Andy separates these two, that might be the thing that gives G the championship. So, or even John Boy, these guys could split the leading championship and ruin Morgan's chance, but Morgan is holding on so desperately right now.
Well, I mean, as it stands, Morgan needs the fastest lap of the race to take the championship anyway, so Morgan needs to get his finger out if he's going to take the championship. They've both got 5 wins apiece, so I don't know what happens after the win count. This is going to be
highest amount of positions, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to have a look, but if it's not by if they've had an equal amount of wins, it's who has been better off this season. I honestly don't know. Their season's been pretty much similar.
Yeah, G's had 4 wins, 3 seconds, 2 fifths, and an 8th. Morgan's had 4 wins, 2 thirds, 2 seconds, a 4th, and an 8th. Plus the win tonight. Plus the second tonight if he finishes P2. Gia's then had a P3 and a P1 if he wins this one.
I think it might go to Morgan.
Oh, I tell you, but he's got to get the fastest lap to make it tied.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but at this current minute, I believe G has got the fastest lap with a 54.2. That's what I'm seeing in the race feed. So
Gary's just on a 54.1. Hello.
Well, there's that fastest lap gone.
No, but still, even without the fastest lap, Morgan needs it, because Morgan needs it without G getting it. So this could be absolutely interesting now, going down to the wire here. Could be absolutely fantastic in terms of... Look at Gary.
God.
Gary's gone up the inside of Morgan. Gary's taken P2 away from Morgan. Morgan is not having the race he needed here. Can he get that place back from Gary? Gary's done well to come back onto this pack after running wide and losing out to all 3 of these guys. And he's now back up into P2. Gary's been fantastic tonight. Gary's been brilliant.
He's been brilliant.
Yeah.
But is this what Morgan wants? Because if he's got the pack with him, if he just lets them go and he maybe slipstream them for 1 lap and then finds a way past them again, he'll take the fastest lap.
Is it worth the risk? Lap 32 or 45?
Well, at the minute, he's still going to lose the championship either way. At this minute, he's losing the championship. You've got 32 laps. You've got 32 laps. You're on lap 32. We still got, we'd say, about 13 laps, 12 laps now to go. I mean, the G's doing everything he needs to do, and it looks like nothing's going to stop him.
Yeah.
John Boy going down the inside there, as we see. It just
collapses the curb. Goes onto 2 wheels, loses the momentum, and that allows Andy through and possibly gives Gary a bit of a run onto the back straight. Nope, Gary decides to tuck back up the inside of him. The ECG in the bottom of your screens, and Morgan just behind. I say just, he's actually 7 seconds down the road, if not 8 seconds down the road. G's in a world of his own at minute 54.8s he's lapping. Morgan 55.6s, so Morgan needs to get something done here. And even if G doesn't get the fastest lap, Morgan needs it, so he's really got to get his finger out.
I would really question just dropping back and just maybe get 1 lap of a fastest lap and try and get through the pack. Because at this minute, Andy and Gary and John Boy seem to be tripping over each other left, right, and centre, and now Morgan's pulling away from them. It could make it an easy pass, but it is a risk. But like I said, he's losing the championship at this stage, so it's all. It's a tricky situation, but as of this moment now, Morgan will not win the championship. G will take the championship.
Indeed he will. 8 seconds separate Morgan and G. Emo guys just past Little each in the background there. Look, they're side by side with each other, but this is the battle for P2, 3, 4 and 5. Gary has got back in front of Andy then. So as it stands at the moment, if our calculations are correct, G will win the title by 1 point, depending on fastest lap. If Morgan gets the fastest lap, they'll be tied on points. If G
gets the fastest lap and he finishes second, he needs to finish second though.
He's got to finish second. I'm talking as it stands at the moment, he needs the fastest lap.
Yeah.
John Boy's going to have a look up the inside, though, into turn 1. Morgan gives him the space and respect, and he's going to try for the cut back, and he's done that absolutely beautifully. That's textbook, that. He's reached in the glove compartment and pulled it out.
Oh, he's not got the...
Sorry, go on.
But Jamie Brazy says here goes by most seconds places. So in that case, they're still even, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're slow. I think they're slow.
They would still be even. No, they wouldn't actually. G would have more seconds.
Depending on this race here. Because if Morgan takes the second...
He came third, didn't he?
He came third in the first race, in race 1, yeah.
So if Morgan finishes second here, then it goes to third, I'm assuming? Because
your guess is as good as mine, mate. And Morgan's had more of them.
2/3. He's had 2/3. If G got a third in the first race, then Morgan should take it by points. But Morgan really needs to get a move on and get a fastest lap, because you're really giving me a headache anyway. I don't know about you, Matt.
Oh, I'm getting a migraine trying to figure these numbers out. G leads by a mile at the moment. John Boy's up into second. Gary's third. Morgan's down to P4 now, so that is definitely not what he wants. But he's got the slipstream, so can he get the fastest lap, like you were saying earlier, Dan? He's going to look up the inside of Gary 131 into the Parabolica and makes that move stick. Gary just gives him a little nudge. Push. Yeah, a little speed boost for your fastest lap, mate.
I think for it to work, he needs to be a little bit further back. So if he was behind Andy and he's not right on the bumper, he can still take his line, but then still gain that slipstream advantage. But Andy's giving him a little push. There's a 54.7, so still not enough.
The top 4 did 54.7s, and Andy went and done a 54.6. No separating the top 5 drivers today. This is brilliant stuff. It's been great racing here. Oh, and Andy's binned it. All on his own, he got a wiggle. Oh, who's that? That's Nick the Villa rolling backwards, who G's just had to take avoiding action from. Thank God. Nick the Villa didn't touch G there, because could you imagine that one?
This is what Morgan needs. Morgan's close enough to John Boy now that he gets a gain of a slipstream.
Yeah. Good toe.
But it doesn't hinder him.
But he's got to make sure he's not defending too heavy from Gary, and he needs to make sure he can get back past John Boy. That's what he's got to do. This is the toe he needed. Oh, 100%. 100%. Gary's still with him. What's Morgan's lap time going to be, or is he thinking the next time around? Crosses the line now, does only a 54.6. Don't think that's enough. Gary's going to have a little lunge up the inside, and Gary's made that one stick. But has Morgan got the cutback? I think he may have done, you know. He has, indeed. So good move from Morgan.
As long as Gary doesn't hinder him down the next Parabolica, this is a lovely lap.
This is the problem, you know.
John Boy's fighting it. He doesn't want to give Morgan the slipstream.
He wants the P2 for himself.
Look in the background. We've got Little Leech and Emo Guy and Melted Daz are all battling at it as well.
Cracking. No matter where you've looked tonight, it's been battles all out. It's all calmed down a little bit since the pit stop. We're not 9 abreast anymore. There's a couple of 3s here and there. Gary's going to have a look at the inside of Morgan. Oh, Morgan tucks back in and chops Gary's nose off near enough there. And he's tucked into John Boy's slipstream then.
See, now these guys are starting to lap faster than G, but I think it's a little bit too late now.
Yeah. Morgan 54.7. Still not enough for Morgan to take the championship. Gary's making sure of that because he needs to finish second, and currently he's down in P3. Gary making sure he finishes off the podium. No matter what's happened here, we've had a great season and a great end to the season tonight as well. It's been fantastic to watch these guys go around here.
Especially the fight between G and Morgan has been fantastic to watch. Mega. And I believe every season these two fight it out, and it's just fantastic. The race they had in Monaco and the race they've had here tonight, it's both of them deserve the championship, and I'd be happy either one take it. But at this second, G is currently doing everything he needs to do. Morgan just needs to find a little bit more. If I was Morgan, I'm tempted to just let Gary go for a minute and just do one decent lap if he can.
Running out of laps, so this is the problem. Running out of laps.
He is running out of laps, but he's still losing the championship.
I know, but how many more laps do you give it? But you need the second place. He needs to. Gary's going to go up the inside, and is Morgan making things tight for Gary? Gary not able to get through yet, but he's kept his nose just there, and he's going to tuck in now. The thing with Morgan is he's just got 6 laps left. He's really running out. It's a short lap as well. It's not like it's a good long lap where you can make a lot of time up. It is a short lap.
The problem he's having is John Boy is not
John Boy's
allowing
weaving
that
a little
slipstream.
bit. Yeah, he's weaving that little bit to break the toe, which he's entitled to do. He's not
Of course he is.
heavily defending, and it's John Boy's well within his rights to do so, and that I think is the thing that is what's slowing Morgan down.
Yeah,
I mean, John Boy, no slipstream. Look, 54.9 last time round, quicker than G. It's good.
This is what I mean. If Morgan can just gain a little bit on John Boy, then
he's just done a 54.3. Look at that.
But it's still not enough. Gary
did a 54.1, didn't he? Yeah, so it's not enough at the moment. And John Boy,
0.2 he needs.
It's
Possibly
fine margins.
He needs 3.
Fine margins, isn't it? Really, fine margins.
But see, that time John Boy didn't make a sharp move to the inside, so it's a bit of a smoother line. But he's having to fight him now. I don't know if John Boy's had a slowdown. Gary's coming down the inside, so this lap will really hinder Morgan, and he's been hit. Oh, this really affects his lap now.
He's really got to get second though, because the fastest lap's no good without the P2, and we're on lap 41, about to start lap 42 of this race. And look at these three guys here, 3 abreast as they come out the parabolica, and Andy doesn't know which way to go at the moment. Andy doesn't know whether to make it 4 wide or not, but he's not. John Boy's lost out a lot of time there. Gary crosses the line, P2 this time around at the moment. And these guys slowly catching G, but John Boy back up the inside of Motory Morgan, and Motory Morgan keeping it very tight to try not let John Boy through. But John Boy's got that move done, so Morgan now down into P4. And this is not the position he wanted to find himself in on lap 42 or 45. He'd have wanted to be up the front and sharp end of the grid on the back of G, maybe fighting for the title, but instead he's got to settle for a bit of a tow from John Boy. Now pulls out into the middle between John Boy and Gary 131. Andy getting the tow from Morgan. All clean so far, and Morgan through the middle of both of them. Great move. Back up into P2 he goes, but he needs that fastest lap still.
I don't think he's going to get it. The tyres are probably dead by now, and the best slipstream he had was when he was a couple of tenths back from John Boy. Yeah. But unless he surprises me now, but no, he does a 55.2. It's just not enough. He's losing the chance.
Oh!
And Gary's hit John Boy.
Gary tapped the back of John Boy under braking there.
Right round the outside of him.
That's brilliant manoeuvre from Andy. Oh, Andy!
Just
got a bit of a twitch. Got a bit of a twitch. And that's allowed John Boy and Gary back up into P3 and 4, and still, somehow, on the back of Motory Morgan. There's been endless battles tonight. It's been relentless pressure from all these guys on the grid, and what a cracking job they've done. We're on lap 43 of 45. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the season. Gary up the inside of John Boy, you see there. I don't think Morgan's got the pace with no slipstream to get that tow, to get that fastest lap. I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's quick enough on his own round here to get in the 43s at least. Look at John Boy pushing Gary in towards the pit wall there, and Gary's having none of it, holding his position beautifully then. 55.9 from Morgan last time round. Gary was quicker than Morgan and had made contact with John Boy.
Oh, John Boy's rubbing against Morgan. I've got to give it to Morgan. He's doing a fantastic job of keeping these guys behind him, and he's every time he hits them, he seems to pushes them back. He's like a rock. He doesn't seem to move.
Can he get an interesting slipstream off of DJ Phil for the final lap of the race? DJ Phil, the car just in front. That could be an interesting one, but he's got to maintain P2. On the last lap, the title goes.
But we know how nice DJ Phil is. It looks like Morgan's backing the pack up a little bit, possibly because he's probably listening to us, and he may be trying to get that slipstream off DJ Phil, but he's got to be careful.
Oh, DJ Phil's pitted. DJ Phil's pitted. So that plan's gone to
the toilet.
Yeah,
but
I nearly said it as well.
And here comes Andy.
3 wide into tail 1. John Boy's going to look around the outside of Morgan, and Morgan clips the curb, and he's lost all momentum there, and Andy's passed him. Gary's trying to pass him as well, and this is not what Morgan needed. Gary and Andy's had a bit of a tap and a bit of a slide, and now Morgan's got to do it. Can he use the slipstream here, or has he lost too much time off for turn 1? This is where Morgan needs to do it. G hit the parabolica now. The cameraman picks him up, leaving the parabolica. The only G. Is he going to become another champion of the Renault Clio Cup? I do believe 3rd or 4th time champion of the Clio Cup. He takes the race win here in the final race of the season in great style. But the battle goes on. John Boy currently sits in second place. Morgan needs that second place. He pulls out now. Is this going to be enough as we head down towards the final part of the track? I don't think Morgan's done it. He has! Morgan's just done it, but didn't get the fastest lap of the race. John Boy will finish P3 with Gary 4th and Andy 5th. Little Eats looks like he's going to settle for P6 then. Although Melted Dazza making things hard for him. Melted Dazza at P7. Emo Guy will come home in 8th with Smoky Devil P9. BT Traga a lap down in P10 and DJ Phil as well a lap down in P11. Lost a few in that one, but Dan, what a race. And it went down to the wire with Morgan in the end. And I do believe, if my calculations are right, or if our calculations are right, should I say, G is champion. And I'm just checking the chat, and I can't see anything at the moment. Brilliant race, though. Brilliant race.
Fantastic. The boys did brilliantly tonight. And either if one of them take the championship, it'll be well deserved to either one of them. But if our calculations are right, G would take the fastest lap, and Gary has got the fastest lap, so I think G takes the championship.
So G takes the championship by a point. But if we're right, G won't gain the extra points. We'll finish on 361. Morgan didn't get the fastest lap, so we'll finish on 360. So by my calculations, G has taken the championship. I am just waiting for a confirmation on the general chat. We're not seeing G type anything. Morgan is. G says cheers. We're not seeing any confirmation on the chat as well, but if we're right, G wins it by a point. So congratulations to the only G. Commiserations for Motoring Morgan. It's been a cracking battle all season. G's just said in the chat, I think Morgan's got the championship. Not sure. But that's an interesting one.
Jamie Bracey goes and puts, if my calculations are right, I believe I'm champ.
Jamie, mate, you'd probably have been the champ in the Simplay Pro-Am category, but your internet's been that woeful that DJ Phil could win it yet.
I believe we've got to wait for standings at this minute, but by our calculations, we think the only G is champion, but that's all we're going to say right now.
Yeah, that is all we're going to say. Keep your eyes out on www.motiveracing.com to see who was the champion. Dan, it's been a pleasure to have you here in the commentary box yet again for two absolutely world-class races. Any final thoughts?
Congratulations to either the only G and Motion Morgan. What a fantastic season these guys have put on, and not just them. The Leach brothers did fantastic as well. John Boy, Andy, Emo Guy, all the guys getting involved. Melted John Boy, a lot of you have done a fantastic show tonight. Thank you, Matt, for joining me in the commentary box tonight.
Pleasure, mate.
I don't
as
feel
always.
lonely tonight.
But, I'll be back on Sunday, all being well, hopefully. I hope to speak to you in the commentary box more in the future as well. But from all of us here at Motive Racing, take care, have a great evening, and stay tuned to find out who won the championship. Go on to www.motiveracing.com to see if it's on there to see who won the title. But from all of us here at Motive, take care, everybody. Good night.